Everyone, myself Advait Mandre, and I'll be explaining Angular Min.js application in this video. So first I have created a file index.html and then added the doctype declaration into it. Next up I have added the head tag inside which I have defined the title as the authentication page and then added the AngularJS script in the script tag. Next I have defined the styling for the entire page using different CSS styles. Then there are different selectors that are being used. For example, this is the class selector that is being applied. Then this is the element selector. This applies the style only for the h2 element. Then next there are stylings for input, button hover, toggle, message, error, and then at the end I have added keyframes so that animations are displayed when the buttons are clicked. Next up is the body tag. In the body tag, the ng controller is defined as the auth controller. So this handles all the logic behind the validation of the registration form. Next, there is a division tag with the class named as authWrapper. So what this division tag does is creates a card with white background to display the form element. Just a second, I'll show it to you. So this is the work of the division tag. This division tag has wrapped the entire form into this card and is being displayed on the browser. Next up is the registration form. So before the registration form there are two headings. One is the create account and then login. These are displayed. So basically what ng-show does is it checks if the each registration flag is true. If it is true, then the create account form will be displayed. If false, it will display the login form. So now let us have a look at the registration form. In the registration form, a simple HTML form element is used to define the form. Then a name is added to it. The ng-show, again as I said, is a flag that checks if the is registering flag is true. If true, only then this form will be displayed. Then there is ng-submit equal to register. So what this is, it basically calls the register function when the submit button is clicked. And then at the end I have added the no validate parameter. This ensures that the HTML validation does not interfere as we are now validating the form with the AngularJS. Next up, there are input fields to take the input from the user as first name, last name, username and password. And then the ng model directive automatically binds the name entered into the field to the variables. Next up is the login form. If the is registering flag is false, then only the login form is displayed. And again, as I said, there are input fields and a submit button. And when the submit button is clicked, the login function is called. So this does the thing for us. Next up is a toggle class. So what this does is basically handles how the user switches in between login and registration and accordingly displays it. And then there is a message class. It basically displays the message that whether the registration was successful or the login was successful. Next up I have defined is the script tag. In the script tag, the authentication app is initialized and then the controller is called. So this controller handles the logic behind validation of the form as well as switching in between the forms. So this particular thing initializes all the required variables. Then there is $scope.toggleForm equal to function. So what this does is handles the toggling of the forms, that is it switches in between the registration form and the login form. Then there is a register function. So this registration function basically accepts the input from the user and stores it into the local storage on the browser. And if the storage is successful, it displays a message as registration successful. Else it displays please fill out the fields message. Next up is the login function. The login function basically fetches the details of the user from the local storage and then handles the logic. So if the stored user, if it is a stored user and the login.username is the same as stored user.username and the login.password is same as the stored user.password, then a message is displayed as login successful, else a message is displayed as invalid username or password. So with this we conclude the code. Now let us move towards the UI part. So this is my user interface. So let us now start filling with the form. So let us say my username is Advait underscore 10 and my password is 123456 and I hit register. See, I get a message as registration successful. Now when I enter the username as Advait and the password as 123456 and hit login, I get a invalid username or password account. Now let us try with another username. Let us say I enter Kaustu. The username is KK123 and the password is 123456. Okay, so now when I hit the register button and here, so this form is not getting automatically cleaned up. This logic needed to be added. KK123 and then entering the password 123456. Now when I hit login, I get a message as login successful. Now if the user wishes to manually switch in between the login and registration tab, the corresponding hyperlinks have been added. So when I hit the register button, I automatically get redirected to this page and the form is cleaned up. And when I click on the login button, this issue still persists. That is, the form is not being automatically cleaned up when the user has already logged in. I will fix this issue in the upcoming video. Thank you.